where specific signal transmitted through iron channels and energy below the terminals. She works as a co-inventor of the first pacemaker Gary Pollak in EU funded. So she will talk about gait without pain, neurofrequency for rejuvenation and body control. And actually, Dr. James before her is mentioned a little bit about the signal technologies. Please, Dr. Sanya.
Thank you very much for inviting me and having me here. It's a great honor to be among you. I will be talking about how we can have gain without pain. Effortless exercise. And what that means, basically. And now, is there gain without pain? What we always know is that exercise, we need to exercise, we need to go to the gym, we need to eat well. But what does exercise mean in bio language, in our body's language, okay? Because the body has actually a language of its own. It has communications that happen within cells, they happen through signaling pathways, through hormones. Hormones are messengers. So what exercise means? So exercise is a series of signals. It's a conversation between the motor nerves and the brains, okay? So do we need exercise per se to create this conversation? The answer is actually no. And I will let you know exactly why the answer is no. So what happens during exercise? The motor nerve gives a signal to the brain. Now, in response to that, the brain has to start releasing the hormones that are necessary for the fat burning process to occur and for the muscle to build. Now, thyroid hormones are released, growth hormones are released, the adipocytes, the fat cells, release glucose. That travels in the blood, it goes to the mitochondria, and it burns with glucose, with oxygen. Oxygen and glucose create electrons. The electrons are going to the mitochondria, they're pushing the protons that are spin the ATP module to create energy, the ATP. Then after that, the growth hormone turns into IGF-1 to actually create the muscle. So here is a diagram where you see the pituitary gland that is going to release the motor nerve. It's going to give the signal to the brain is going to give the signal to the pituitary gland, and this pituitary gland is going to start releasing thyroid hormones or start. And if you see, what is very interesting about this diagram is that because the body is doing that, there is a balance within it. So you cannot have too much of it. You cannot have too much thyroid hormones. Like, for example, if you do hormonal therapy, you can have too much hormones into your system. This is not possible here because the body has a stop mechanism. It's a homeostatic mechanism. So there's going to be enough hormone that is going to run into the system to produce the appropriate results. Now, the growth hormone is another hormone that is being released, and that will go into the liver, and it's also going to go to the muscle, and then it's transformed. Everything in the body transforms. Nothing is static. Everything becomes something else, and there's always communication between things. So this is going to be transformed into IGF-1, and it's that particular hormone, the IGF-1, that will create the muscle building. So you have lipolysis, and then as you can see, the ATP module and how it's going to utilize the electrons to create more ATP. And this is what the ATP module looks like inside the mitochondria. It's extremely, extremely large. And there are the protons that are spinning forward to add the phosphate and create ATP. By itself, it spins the other way, anti-clockwise, and breaks ATP down. So it needs the protons, and the protons need the electrons. So here is what the technology does. Delivers the electrons to get that spinning process. Well, there's more electrons that are created because every time you burn fat with glucose, actually the part of the adipocytes that goes into the bloodstream with oxygen, you create electrons. And these electrons will spin that module and will create ATP. So now you have far more greater amounts of ATP than you would normally have, first from the fat burning process, and secondly because the actual technology inserts electrons into the system. Now, here is an understanding of what growth signaling is all about. So you can see a normal growth hormone, and you see somebody who has low or no growth hormone signaling, and you have somebody in the third one that has very high growth hormone signaling. What does this tell you? It's not the exercise that does the slimming. It's the growth hormone that does the slimming. Because if somebody has a low growth hormone, he's not going to lose weight no matter how much he exercises. Okay, so that is very important. So it's not the exercise, in other words, that does the slimming and the muscle building. It's the hormones that do that. And if it's the hormones that do it, then we can target the hormones through signaling. And again, here is the symptoms of hypothyroidism, and this person is going to be slim and is going to have no energy no matter how much they exercise. So conclusion, the exercise is not the whole story, okay? If you want lipolysis and healthy muscle tone and normal weight loss and health and longevity, we need to concentrate on signaling. That's the answer. Not to say that you don't want exercise. Yes, you want exercise as well. But you can do the signaling is the trick, is the key. It's not the fact that you just move your arms and your legs. It's the fact that every time you move your arms and your legs, you have hormones that are changing your body. So this is the development of a new technology, the ion magnum, and how it was actually developed. And what they did is they looked at regular motor nerves and they looked at severe motor nerves. And they decoded all the different frequencies that these two different nerves were emitting. And then they created a signal out of about 3,000 of these frequencies.